is, first and foremost, I have to say, a great pleasure to join you in discussion about Sustainable Development Goals. And I wholeheartedly thank the leadership of the United Arab Emirates for hosting us in this beautiful place today and for inspiring us to talk about sustainable development and common good at the World Government Summit. I would like to frame this speech a little bit differently, rather than simply talk about sustainable development goals and their importance for the world. I would like to start by asking, what are the key challenges ahead of all of us, our world, be it in Europe, America, Asia, Gulf, Australia, or anywhere else on this planet? We all of us, from different countries here, have certain kind of challenges or problems as individual countries and nations. But what are those key ones, those that represent threat to all? And I'd say, number one, wars. Will someone drop a nuclear bomb? What will happen to my family, my children, my country? Will we survive? Which is, by the way, and we tend to forget this, a much larger issue than will our economies strive, survive, thrive, and how. Unfortunately and unbelievably, after decades of prosperity and well-being for most of the world, but not for everyone, this is today a real threat that we have. Number two, climate change. That is the consequences of pollution, floods, droughts, typhoons that are affecting the way we live, work, and produce on a daily basis in today's world. And climate change and the consequences of climate change are directly linked to as much as 13 out of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And number three, I'd say population issues. Aging population in one part of the world, which makes our economic models, and namely pension systems and healthcare, unsustainable, and overpopulation in other parts of the world, which brings similar challenges, only in the opposite direction. Not enough jobs and poverty, which primarily affects healthcare. There are heavy migration flows to create a natural balance, but rather than enhance those efforts, or try to somehow control and organize them, we resist them, creating additional uncertainties. In 2020, we witnessed the largest one-year increase in the number of people living in extreme poverty in 3 decades. And just this past week, we saw yet another devastating natural disaster impacting hundreds of thousands of people across Turkey and Syria. So, the world is becoming, perhaps more than ever, crazy and complex place. And what is especially surprising, but also frustrating, is that all of this is happening at a time when we have discovered the greatest wealth of all, technology. Technology can, if we share it and support it, create wealth and well-being for all. Take a look at all 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Number one, no poverty. Number two, zero hunger. Number three, good health and well-being. Number four, quality education. Number five, gender equality. Number six, clean water and sanitation. Number seven, affordable and clean energy. Number eight, decent work, economic growth. Number 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure. 10, reduced inequality. 11, sustainable citizen communities. 12, responsible consumption and production. 13, climate action. 14, life below water. 15, life on land. 16, peace and justice. 6 years ago, we have placed education in order to get our youth ready for the 21st century, and digitization, by government taking the lead, as our key priorities. We have lost as a country so much time in the past. Terrible wars in the 90s, lack of economic vision in the first decade of 2000s, and even before that, we weren't one of those countries which were the winners during the previous industrial revolutions. 10 years ago, we were a step away from bankruptcy. Our unemployment was 25.5%. Our youth unemployment was 51.5%. And we needed to change something radical to try and make up for the lost time and lost opportunities. And, as it happened, we understood that we were living in the era of another new industrial revolution, fourth industrial revolution, which provided a unique opportunity to those of us who were the winners of the third industrial revolution to become one now. So we started changing. Transforming our education system was an absolute priority. We invested considerable funds to incorporate tech and digital into our education system. We introduced a subject called Digital World starting in the first grade, and programming and coding became a mandatory subject starting from the 5th grade of elementary school. We have connected each and every school in Serbia, regardless of how small or how rural, to high-speed internet access. We started introducing digital textbooks in elementary and secondary schools. We introduced specialized courses for children talented in IT and expanded the capacity of tech and STEM universities across Serbia. Today, we are one of only 11 countries in the world that have introduced AI in primary and secondary schools at the national level. Our goal has been, and continues to be, to prepare our population for the jobs of the future. We also started changing the way our government works and provides services. Massive transformation of our government centered around the idea of becoming fully electronic, providing all public services electronically to our citizens and businesses, being available to them 24/7, 365 days a year. And this was our answer to more efficient, more transparent, and government more focused on our citizens. And this was also our way to fight corruption. And to transform our economy and make sure that our economic growth is more dynamic, more sustainable, and creates more added value to our citizens, we have prioritized IT growth and innovation at home. We have opened 4 science and technology parks across Serbia. We have established startup centers throughout the country. We have introduced special tax incentives to bring and promote investments in research and development, tech, startup, and innovation companies. We have also introduced special tax incentives to stimulate companies to bring people from abroad to work in Serbia, foreigners to work in Serbia, thus bringing their knowledge, expertise, and ideas to our country. We're installing fiber optic networks for broadband internet in order to cover 99% of our households in our country by 2025. We have built a national data center to handle national cloud and hosting requirements, and installed the latest generation NVIDIA supercomputer and made it available free of charge for the scientific and startup community. As the next impetus for further reforms, we chose to prioritize the intersection of biology and technology through the establishment of the so-called Bio4 campus as a unique multidisciplinary project with focus on biomedicine, bioinformatics, biotechnology, and biodiversity. This facility should be completed by 2025, and our goal is to turn it into a center of gravity where the life sciences and IT worlds meet, furthering our aim to make Serbia an innovative science and technology hub. And here's what we in Serbia have achieved. 7 years later, today, Serbia is 11th in the world and 4th in Europe according to its digital services. And imagine, only 6 years ago, all of the data we had was in a paper format. We are one of only 29 countries in the world which is a member of Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence. Our average salary in the past 10 years increased by 115%, unemployment decreased from 25% to 8%. ICT is by far the fastest growing sector of our economy, growing at a rate of more than 25% year on year, and last year it grew more than 40%. IT is also by far the biggest net exporting sector of our economy, creating unbelievably every second new job in the country in 2021. Technology helps our energy sector become more efficient. Technology helps our agriculture sector become more efficient. Technology helps us target and better deliver our social security, thus helping those most vulnerable. We're thinking of ways in which we can use technology to reduce air pollution. Technology gives youth opportunities which they did not previously have. So in conclusion, what I'm saying is anyone can do it, and this is the time to do it. It is up to us to redesign our future, and to redesign the future in order to meet sustainable development goals and build a world which is more fair and in which no one is left behind. Invest in people, believe in people, believe in their talent and their creativity, invest in education, invest in technology. It also means that we start from ourselves as governments. If we take the lead, economy and people will follow. If we do that, results are literally at our fingertips.